Rap mogul Jay-Z is denying allegations he sexually assaulted a 13-year-old girl alongside rapper Sean Diddy Combs. That civil lawsuit filed against Combs in October was amended Sunday to include Jay-Z. The accuser identified only...
Welcome to Pegasus vs. the World, where we take on challenges, comedy, trending topics, and some travel.
City boy! City boy!
Oh, Lord have mercy. What is going on in the world, you guys? So Jay-Z, Forbes list, #1 rap artist. Yeah, the Forbes gave Jay-Z the #1 spot, as most of these corporate entities give Jay-Z the #1 spot. I don't know how that happens, what we're judging this off of, record sales, skill level, impact on the culture. I have no clue. But he's the #1 rapper on Forbes. And he is tied into some allegations of SA on a 13-year-old with Diddy. Now, I'm not going to condemn someone and throw down the gavel because of allegations, but let's talk about it. And I'll play some more of this clip from CNN. Now, typically, I'd play clips from other places, but people get so weird. When you play something from Fox, all of a sudden you're a right-wing lunatic or something, and I'm like, bro, like what? So, playing it from CNN today, but yeah, I like based news. I don't like the corporate news, but at least we're getting something here from the establishment media. But okay, so when we think about what's going on with P. Diddy and Jay-Z, we have to talk about other things going on. We could bring up Epstein. We could be, what's her name? Ghislaine Maxwell. R. Kelly. You know what's really crazy? Now, this isn't an underage situation, but Conor McGregor was, I don't know if he's convicted, indicted, but something's going on there as well. Now, I believe Conor McGregor is saying they were partying, they were on the cocaine, like, da-da-da-da. I don't know what happened there. There are times where people go out to literally ruin, a person in the public's reputation. But then there's people who have a lot of power in industries, and they're actually doing these things. Is Jay-Z one of those people? I have no clue. When you see all of the different allegations and things going on towards Diddy, you see how close they were. Also, when you go back and realize the age of Aaliyah, when she was doing stuff with R. Kelly did an album with Jay-Z. There's a lot of 6 degrees of separation going on within these circles. Again, I'm not here to cast judgment, but when we take a good look at all these different things going on, it's very questionable. It's ironic because I go back and forth. I watch left-wing media like, Young Turks, Breaking Points is like middle, but like sometimes I'll watch see what Kyle Kalinske is saying or Destiny, but then I'll go watch, like Tim Pool and stuff people would think would lean more right-leaning. Benny, yeah, is it Benny Johnson? I think so. Benny, I like his show. He's tight. He's funny. But anyways, in the right wing, for example, they were tying a lot of these different things together to other things. And I've just been seeing it go down, and I'm like, this is kind of interesting. I noticed from right-wing media, they're so quick to kind of almost throw the gavel and insinuate that Jay-Z, is, let's say, guilty. But then we have, like, this is a civil suit. I believe that's different than what is it? Like a criminal charge or suit, whatever. The civil suits are, you need less to get after someone with a civil suit. And they did that to Trizump, right? And some of that stuff was false. So I think there's a middle ground to try to find here, but let's listen to what CNN's saying and let's go.
As Jane Doe says she was sexually assaulted by both men at a Video Music Awards after party in 2000. In a blistering statement, Jay-Z accuses Jane Doe's attorney of trying to blackmail him. He said further, quote, "These allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one."
There you go. That's what I'm talking. Because, like, these civil suits, people sometimes win and I don't even know how this goes. So some of my lawyer friends tap it in the comments. I just learned from all the Trump stuff, seeing people talk, they're like, yo, civil suit, because that's what happened with Andrew Tate as well. No one's filing criminal complaints or criminal, because it's harder to prove guilt in the criminal, however you call it. But in a civil suits, it's way easier to get like a conviction, but it's not. I don't know, you guys, exactly. I probably should have read up. I could read up on it, but I'll read up on it after this. But from what I've gathered so far, that's a lot that's been happening, right? Like these criminal cases have been not as much in comparison to these civil suits, and he's calling that out. Now, I don't know, man. At least he came out and denied it, like when Diddy came out beating Cassie. There's no denying that. We saw it with our own eyes. And what happened? Boom. But I can't imagine, like, if this is not true, how jarring this is for his family. That's crazy. That's crazy if it's not true. But if it is true, and they're tied to these rings of, craziness.
Whomever would commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away. Would you not agree? He added, my only heartbreak is for my family. My wife and I will have to sit our children down, one of whom is at the age where her friends will see the press and ask questions about the nature of these claims and explain the cruelty and greed of people. Joining us now, Joey Jackson, CNN legal analyst and criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor. There's a lot to unpack here. Joey, I want to start with just the statement from Jay-Z, which is so forceful in its denial. I just read a teeny part of it. It's long.
Forceful in its denial. I mean, if he didn't do it, like, that's the way I don't know. That's weird, her say. It's so forceful. I don't know if I don't know.
Where he says that they should file a criminal complaint. Is that even possible at this point?
So based on the allegations, Jessica, good morning. Good to see you. I think that it certainly could be. Why do I say that? Now, he, of course, is more than annoyed, would be an understatement.
Yeah.
He has a family and he has a lot to protect, including his brand. But to the extent that he's saying, hey, come after me criminally, that could be likely. Why do I say that? Because rape in New York, and what's alleged in this complaint, is forcible compulsion. What that means in English is that it's saying that he held her down, raped her, and that, of course, the allegation is that Mr. Combs did the same thing. And so if those facts are actually accurate, it would require an investigation by prosecutors. And if true, right, you could pursue it criminally. Now, with respect to evidentiary value, yes, it happened 24 years ago, right, more than 24 years ago. But in the allegations, there's a few things. Number one, there's allegation that another celebrity was present at the time, right, in addition to other people. Number two, there's the claim by the victim, right, that she left, that she went and she was seen by a gas attendant who saw her in distress. Number three, that she phone called her dad, who showed up, the 13-year-old, and now removed her. So civil complaint, simply allegations, needs to be proven in a court of law. But if true, it could rise to the level of criminality. And, we'll see what happens, or if the DA looks and investigates.
So what happens now?
So what happens now is this is simply a civil complaint. And in a civil complaint, it goes through the technical legal process. Now, the distinction, Jessica, between civil and criminal, of course, is that civil is for monetary damages, right? The system...
That's what I was trying to say. Thank you, man. He's killing it. So for monetary damages, they ain't trying to necessarily, like, people in these civil cases don't get locked up. They just get hit for mad bread. It's interesting. I'm not saying it didn't happen because, if we're being real and I put on my tinfoil hat, I'm always leaning into these MFers are evil, like, we know what it is. But I try to give it a fair shake. And, like, being on the public platform, I have seen behind the veil a little bit, and things are never what we think they are. That's what I'm starting to learn. And there's levels to this, and it's like, I've only seen minor levels, so who knows? But this dude's breaking it down great. Thank you, man.
Some can only reward you with money. There's allegations that this 13-year-old is suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder, suffered depression, etc. So now you go to fact-finding, right? Before that, just briefly, there was a demand letter sent. And a demand letter is a letter being sent by a lawyer saying, hey, I don't have to sue you. We can sit, we can mediate it. If we reach an agreement, it never sees the light of day. Jay-Z saying, I don't care about your demand letter. I look at it as blackmail. You want to sue me, sue me. You want to look at it criminally, look at it criminally, but it'll go through the fact-finding process. If a trial is necessary to determine the facts, that's what will happen, but it'll be deemed civil. No indication at this point as to whether or not any criminal investigation will ensue as a result of this.
Yeah, and Jay-Z came back incredibly forcefully against these allegations and really singled out that attorney as well for being, I'm paraphrasing here, but greedy, saying he's out to get money, and calling that letter essentially blackmail.
Yeah, and in addition to that, Jessica, also suing the attorney, saying he's intimidating him, harassing him, etc. Now, demand letters are not new. What lawyers do is they send them out as a matter of protocol and practice so that you can expedite the process. At the same time, there's certain ethical standards that you have to use, and you have to have a good faith factual belief that this is true. Now, you can argue this complaint was filed in October, right? Could have mentioned Jay-Z then. You didn't. Why? It was amended now to include him. Are the factual assertions true? Are they fact or fiction? Is it a money grab or not? All of that will be litigated in a court of law, but according to Jay-Z, this never happened, is pure fiction. It is a money grab, and he's fighting for his name, reputation, and certainly innocence and justice in his view, which is he didn't have anything to do with it.
Yeah, and you touched on a point, too, that I wanted to ask you about, which was that this was an amendment to this already existing lawsuit. What are people to take away from that? The fact that they're coming back and adding to this now with this specific name?
Yeah, Jessica, so it depends. That's also common. You could amend lawsuits, right, as a matter of course, and you do, to include certain factual allegations. The interesting thing to me in terms of your question and the takeaway, if you had this information about Jay-Z, it happened allegedly in September of 2000, why not include it in the original complaint? What happened between October and now that necessitated you putting in, and it's a question of credibility. Was he celebrity A, right, as was noted in the October complaint? Is this pure fiction? And what's interesting in the complaint.
Yo, this is wild. This is getting crazy. What was the girl's name who was on Piers Morgan, who was calling out Jay-Z? It feels like it's connected to that. That's what it feels like. She's like, I'm working with some victims and representing some victims. Jay-Z is evil. He asked, what happened between then and then? I need to go back and find I thought her name was like Jasmine or something. But damn, this is getting thick. This is crazy.
Complaint is he really, that is the lawyer, tries to tie Jay-Z to Mr. Combs in so many ways, right? Birds of a feather is the argument that he's making. You can make that argument. You need the facts to sustain it. Let's see if they come up with any facts.
All right, we will see. All right, Joey Jackson, thanks so much.
Ooh. I mean, 50 been going after, I don't know, man. I mean, that's crazy. I am not trying to stick up for these clowns, man. Like, I'll keep it real. This shit is bonkers, in my opinion. Like, it's just like, dude, what are people thinking? But again, casting judgment too early and, let them have their time in court, if it even goes to court. You know what I'm saying? This type of allegation it's Lord have mercy, man. This is another tall tale about males, let's say male leadership and mentorship. How important it is to have like some good male leaders in your life, because it does seem like with all of these people, right? Even like the Andrew Tates, who are like, guys who are leading men, right? Women have been the downfall of all these brothers. And they can say, oh, it's the system. Oh, it's the this, that, and the other. It's the Matrix. Because I agree with a lot of the stuff they say. It's real stuff. I don't agree with all of it. And one of the things that I feel like, personally, when we talk about the men, is like accountability. And essentially, a lot of this stuff wouldn't happen if the men had more discipline over themselves with women. Now, this is coming from someone who's had, I was a player, whatever you want to call it, in the streets. And I'm speaking in the sense, not like this. Like, this is crazy. Like, SA is insane. But just, like, not being disciplined, not being a one-woman man or da-da-da-da. All these different things, I was out there. So I always put that in the mix because I don't like, throwing the stones and acting like I'm some innocent, We've all had our issues, but this is where it goes way too crazy. There's a difference from being a ladies' man and, being, let's say, promiscuous versus, the allegations that are here. So, anyways, you guys let me know what you think in the comments. I think this shit is nuts, and everyone is, this is wild. 2024 just won't quit. I'm trying to get to 2025, but 2024 is like, nah, homie, we got some more for your ass. Anyways.
City boy! City boy!